Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the final Music Is episode. I cannot believe it is 3 months, 12 weeks, 90 days. And yeah, where I was back in January when I started the series is so not where I am right now. But it has been phenomenal in every sense of the word, just speaking with, discussing, learning through all the different creatives that have, I've been blessed to have on the series. I have Claudia of Vimfit, who is going to introduce herself and is just as amazing, if not even more so amazing than all others that I've had. The Music Is series, as you know, is all about the impact of music in people's lives, where it started, where it is, and how it really has carved and really played a part in people's lives. I'm Tali Lotus. I'm the founder of CAYA Audio Enterprise and Sound System. And yes, this is Music Is. So without further ado, I'd like to hand over to Claudia of Vimfit.
Thank you so much for having me. Final series and my first actual sit down live. So yes, there's a final, the last and the first. So yeah, that's something, isn't
it? honestly, I'm so glad to have you on finally, and so appreciate the time that it's taken, because obviously you're out in Ghana, and obviously owing to really circumstances, we were supposed to do this before, but here we are now. But just tell everyone who you are, tell us about Vimfit, your story. If we can hear that, that'd be great.
Yes, basically, hi guys, my name is Claudia, founder, CEO, Vimfit's baby, Vimfit's mama, shall I say, Vimfit's my baby. And I am a fitness and wellness instructor. So basically, people know me mainly for the acrobics, which I deliver under the Vimfit umbrella. So for those of you that don't know what acrobics is, it is a fusion of African dance and aerobic together. I do that to, I'd say African music, I would say Afro beats, so it's different types of genres of African music, so to speak, all over the globe. And occasionally I do kind of vim things up and I add a little bit of R&B, Afro, jazz, soul, what have you. But my main core and delivery is obviously the Afrobeats, which is the mainstream aerobics fused with African dance. So in terms of the background, I became a qualified exercise to music instructor probably about 13 years ago, teaching a lot of in-person classes in and around the London area, so to speak. And then obviously fast forward to that, I had a little one. So I taught up until about 8 months, and then I decided to just kind of take a little break, because it was always a case of, yeah, I'm teaching, but it felt like it needed to be more. And I just wasn't quite sure what direction to take it. So obviously I had the break. And obviously the pandemic came into place. I think what the trigger for me was the fact that I teach a lot of people. The place that I basically ended up in was the universities in South London, and a lot of international students. So one lady from Brazil actually messaged me. I haven't heard from her in about 5 years. And then she says, oh, actually, do you remember me? You made me that CD. Just goes to show how long ago it was, because who plays CDs nowadays? And I was like, oh, God, yeah, it's the last one. She goes, yeah, you put all the music on it for me from the classes, and I'm going through a really tough time in Brazil at the moment. And I just wanted to email to say thank you. I'm using the CD. I still remember the routines that you taught us. And it's really helping me get through a tough time right about now. And incredible. That was like, and a lot of people have been saying, kind of restart it. And it's just like, oh, just dragging your feet as you do. But I think that kind of really hit home. And I was like, you know what, people need me out here. So I basically just did some trials, ended up kind of being 2 days a week. Then it went to kind of 4 days a week, which I did voluntarily for 4 months or so before I then decided to put it into a more of a cycle, a kind of package, which kind of gives you the full BIM experience. So you've got that, your shake, you know, hitting a sweat and all of that. It's really fun and energetic. And the good thing about it is you don't even feel like you're working out. In addition to that, I started adding the sculpt and burn, BIM sculpt and burn. So that's with the weights, the booty bands, just to kind of help tone, etc. And again, it's just the vibe and the way it's delivered, and also just being part of a lovely, positive, you know, community, predominantly ladies. Had a few guys pop in, long-standing members who actually used to attend my classes 10 years ago. A couple of them did return, but
wow.
Yeah, the guys, they're in it, you know. People are, so ladies think it's like, no, we love it, and we're here for it. And they, you know, sometimes bring their children and stuff like that as well. So it's all good. And basically I basically started doing that. So for those who don't know what BIM is, which I probably should start from the beginning, BIM is basically originates from Ghana, and it stands for energy, motivation, enthusiasm, and drive. At least that's what that's how I've defined it. And it's just the type of, you know, energy that you experience. You know, it's more of an experience. It's not just, oh, I'm just going to do a class and then go. Because what I found is that there were just a lot of people out there in just very, you know, maybe challenging situations. Not just that they wanted to get fit, but it went a lot further than that. And then kind of using the classes as some kind of escapism to just kind of get away from everything. And obviously, yeah, and the fitness, we fit, and then global is my love for just different people, different cultures, different background travel. So my background is that I'm an enterprise country analyst. I work with a lot of organizations rolling out ERP projects all over the globe. So it gave me the opportunity to do a lot of traveling. And it feels like what I've done now is take that element and put it into something that is actually my passion, you know, and just transforming it. So it's like I probably will reapproach them again and say, hey, wellness team, you know, this is what we're doing. And I now want to kind of go back into that and then approach them. But obviously with the different places, it's definitely rewarding when people kind of tell you what they've been going through, and the fact that your class can make all the difference. You know, it's just that 45 minutes, 1 hour, 30 minutes, class times vary, class styles vary, but it's something for everyone. It's a freedom of movement, freedom of spirit. People, oh, I can't dance, forget about that. You come as you are, basically, and that's the whole beauty about BIM. But in terms of the package, what I'm doing now, I'm now introducing, I'm collaborating. You know, no man is an island, so I want to bring the whole thing into it, where I've gotten people talking about nutrition. We do cook and eat, and you know, we've had things about BIM hair, post workout, mindfulness as well, and obviously we do acro stretch as well. So you could imagine the different classes would have different types of music that go, you know, alongside it, etc. So without, you know, without music, there'd basically be no BIM. The first thing I used to teach at the university was like, oh, they come with their notepad and goes, oh, can someone cut the name of that song, and the name of this song, and the name of that song, and it was just their passion and their drive to want to learn more and more. They would be telling me about songs that I didn't know, you know, and you know what, I want to bring BIM to the world. I love the exchange, but I wanted to bring BIM to the world, you know. So we finally got out of lockdown and managed to do an in-person workout. It's absolutely amazing. I think people are a bit tired of being cooped up, and it was just nice that people who I've been seeing virtually, some people I've never met, was able to meet them in person, and they were able to meet each other and then build networks from there. And then we went back into lockdown again, so I was like, you know, it's been a bit of a whirlwind, but that's kind of a bit of the background as to
okay.
it is, yeah.
Okay. So yes, thank you so much for that. That's just, you know, obviously how we met was via the launch strategist, and that was a phenomenal journey. And the wealth of fitness, the wealth of wellness that you provide is just, it's incredible, incredible, incredible. But as I said, the Music Is series is really about looking at creatives from all walks of life and really you know, like feasing out what it is and how it is that music has impacted their life. So with that, can I ask Claudia, how has music impacted your life? How does it impact your life?
Oh gosh. I think in all ways, shapes and forms. I mean, a bit of background about me before Vimfit is I'm a lover of music. I actually used to sing and songwrite. So I've been singing from, gosh, when I was when I can remember, probably like 3 or 4, according to my mum. In terms of family background, my grandfather was a choir master. My mum was also in the choir.
Wow.
And typically, you know, it's kind of passed down to me. And every kind of music that they used to play, it would just be something that I just sit around and absorb around the house. So my uncle as well stayed with us, and he listened to a whole genre of music, and I think that's kind of when I started getting more exposed to things like jazz, soul, you know, R&B, etc. He's kind of the one that started it, or not typically stuff that my mum would listen to, but he would play it all the time, and I just remember just kind of being just kind of hooked on it, you know, videos, you know, Top of the Pops, any kind of thing that kind of used to come on that was kind of music related. And I kind of continued to do that right through to university. So it's a really, it's just so much fun, but I can't even do now. Like, Mama, they come. I was like,
oh, bless you.
For it. But yeah, in terms of Vimfit, it's a big impact, because without music, there would be no Vimfit, you know, even if it's a case of just people sitting there drumming, or just the sound of pans, or the sound of this, there has to be some sound, and there has to be some kind of melody or some kind of rhythm of some sort, you know, for Vimfit to run, you know. So it's Vimfit has kind of impacted my life, so I'm enjoying what I'm doing. It impacts me because it impacts other people, and without music there'll be no Vimfit. I'm a bit of a gym rat, you know, as in when I do the body stuff, I've been doing a lot of home workouts, and for me, I would get on that treadmill, get on the step or whatever, and the moment that music cuts, the mental power that I need to kind of get through it without the music that I've set myself to work out for that day is seriously difficult, you know. I think the moment it stops, like it feels like everything stops, you know. It does impact people in a big type of what puts you in a good space. It can put you in a not so good space. I think people kind of underestimate the power behind it. And one thing that I do with my class is I say, come as you are, bring your music, tell me what you want to listen to, obviously within reason, because I did that with some school children once, and I put on a song that I hadn't actually vetted. And it was in school, so you can imagine I played it, and then the head teacher just walked by and like, oh, really? You know, but yeah, that impacts them, because it could make all the difference between me finishing my work. It can make all the difference between putting me in a good mood. It can make all the difference between people gaining 3,000 to 5,000 steps in a cardio blast workout, which I teach every Tuesday. So yeah, serious impact.
Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. And what would you say was your first recollection of music?
Probably just what I used to hear around the house, just different kind of sounds. That my mum would constantly, you know, she's still got a whole ton of cassettes, a whole ton of CDs. I've got CDs, so I can't talk, but she's got the cassettes as well. And just basically playing that around, singing. I think that was kind of my first, you know, kind of my first touch with it. But I guess the whole connection part of it probably started, I think I was in like some random shop in the middle of South London, and then I just found myself just letting loose. I heard a Whitney Houston song on, and then it's just, I just let my mum's hand go, and then I was just like, just literally she had to finish the song. I don't know what came into me. I just like, let me go. And then I literally just went up and down the shop, and like the shop attendants are just looking at me like, seriously, like really? But we love what she's doing. Let her finish. I think it was a song so emotional.
Wow.
And then that's kind of when I started finding out that I had a bit of a singing voice as well. So I guess, yeah, from an early age, but in terms of me connecting it, singing music-wise, probably, yeah, around the age of like six, 7, I think it was. Yeah.
Wow. And that's the thing. All of my guests, almost all of them, have actually like reported about that age, 5 or 6. And it's said that whatever you're into at that age is what you'll go on to do, like as a career, or what you'll most enjoy doing. And so like that first recollection of music and, you know, your connection with it from there on in, really I'd say in probably about 80% of my guests, that was the case. They kind of like first had that song or that recollection at the age of 5, and you know, they were from that moment onwards, they were in some way inspired to go on to do more and more within the kind of creative or music industry. So you mentioned Whitney Houston's, was it Emotional Song? Was that your first song that you can recollect?
Oh, where I actually kind of really got into it, yeah. But gosh, I think probably before then, you know, your usual Michael Jackson's, 5-star. I love a 5-star representation.
Okay.
People like, who? Showing my age here. But that was literally what was kind of played around the house, in addition to obviously the traditional high life and hip life. So my first recollection was, in terms of the obviously the first song I absolutely loved was or album was a Couple Entry, and that kind of, I still love his music. I've managed to, after 20 years, attend his concert here in Ghana.
Wow.
He wasn't sure what he was going to do, obviously due to COVID and stuff, but they managed to put a social distancing. And he's like the Don Dada. He's like, you know, the Beres Hammond of Jamaica. He's seriously big. So it was either him or Daddy Lee. There's always the two. You know, when you look at a baby face and then you look at a Teddy Riley, you know, one was
okay, I get that. Mm-hmm.
And then Kojenchi was more like the baby face. So yeah.
Okay, beautiful. That's beautiful. And so without music, where would you be, do you think? If you didn't, obviously Vimfit is that's its kind of foundation, right? That is
Yes.
how that's a core part of Vimfit.
Seriously. That's what I said. Without that is the driver, you know, that, like I said, would probably be the difference between someone gaining, like I said, 3,000 steps in a cardiovascular workout I do versus 5,000 steps. It could put them in a good mood. It can put them, well, hopefully I'm hoping it always puts them in a good mood. Sometimes obviously music does have that thing. It's a whole mood, you know, and it's powerful to the point whereby you can tie it to certain parts of your life, you know, good times, bad times. It could be sometimes you hear something, you're like, yes, you know, literally it just drives you, just get up and then you just forget about what's going on and it just moves you. And another time you kind of back to maybe a place that you don't want to be at, and then you're just like, you know, maybe not so. Because obviously, you know, we were supposed to talk about a couple of weeks ago, and I just tell the people now that I like to go for my walks, and maybe that's why we had to delay to tell this story, is that I delayed going for my walk because my music was not syncing to that headphone. I haven't gone.
Wow.
I'm not leaving the house until my music syncs up to my headphone. I said, me being a woman, let me just multitask. I've got things to do. Let me just go and do it on the way. I never have my phone out. Never. And within 5 minutes of leaving, I could see some motorbike people come by. So close, you know, step to the side and a little, like, you know, a little side step kind of thing, and they moved, not knowing that they were actually, you know, trying to just always nagging for us. People just so hungry, you know. And yeah, literally just snatch. I was just like, what the hell's happened, kind of thing, because I was there still trying to think, and I was doing my power steps at the same time, and I'm like, you know what, wow, like, music did that. I'm like, maybe if I weren't so eager for my music, I would have just put it in my little sack, you know, and just, but I can never kind of walk without music kind of thing, you know. It needs to be something, even if it's just like the sound of the waves. That's a different type of music to me, you know. But yeah, that that sure was something, and that was all because of music. And I know the song that was playing, some little Portuguese romantic kind of song. And I love everything, but if I tell you now, like I said, the music takes you back to a certain place. That song doesn't sound so sweet to me anymore.
I hear you, and that's the kind of the great, and yeah, it's, I think it's the kind of great thing, but also the saddest thing about music, because it can do both. It can, you know, you reminisce about great times, but then, you know, you can also be quite nostalgic about really awful times. So yeah, music is powerful, 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 powerful. So I usually always get my guests to finish the statement. Music is, so for me, music is my therapy. Music is my light. Music is my creativity. Music is my future. Music is my business. It's a lot of things. What is music for you, Claudia?
Can I say more than one, or be a bit greedy?
Absolutely.
By saying, I was going to say, I thought about this. I was going to say, you know what? It's it's a mood. You know, it puts you in a mood, a good mood, maybe a not so good mood. It creates this environment that then puts you in a certain mood, and you know that I then kind of scale it back and say, well, actually, it's probably bigger than that. Music, I thought, is life. Sometimes when it just gives me joy, it just uplifts me. There's always a song, anytime I'm kind of feeling down and out, there's a song, I remember the artist, shame on me, but it's a song, There Will Be Glory After This. And it's just like, dun, 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 and it's just so upbeat. And anytime I just hit it on, shut my doors, and I'm just kind of going for it. It gives me so much life, but then it can also take life, because again, like I said, that song was playing, and that's what I remember when they snatched it. It was like, rah, and it's just like, oh. So it's like, if I hear that now, I'm feeling a bit of a way hearing that. And I know some people, like, heard of one uncle that was like, you know, when anything kind of happens, he just shuts everything down. Don't want no TV, don't want no music, because at the time it will take him back to the place that he doesn't really kind of want to remember, kind of thing, you know. So it's alive. It feels like it can give you life, but it can take life as well. And just the whole mood that's around music, it's powerful. It's very an amazing tool, you know. But yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. That's been incredible. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is going to be shared, obviously, to YouTube, so please catch it there, and yeah, follow the page. Claudia, please tell us all of your social handles, so that those who have watched this and are watching this know where to follow, know how to contact you.
Sure. So you can follow me on IG at Vim, so VIM Fit Global, so all one word, Vim Fit Global. That's the IG handle, or www.vimfitglobal.com. Or you can send me an email as well, sorry, I'll start it again, Charlotte. It's what happens, darling. It's like, oh. Email address is vimfitglobal.
It's fine.
Website www.vimfitglobal.com, and my Instagram handle is vimfitglobal, all one word. Connect.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, everyone, for following me these past 12 weeks. Music has come to an end. However, I'm not going to leave you guys hanging without anything for too long. I will be back, so keep following audio.by.Lotus, CAYA Audio for all updates. It's been phenomenal. Thank you.